Two of the issues that have been raised constantly, among others, are the impact on jobs, but also the impact on cost, the cost to the consumer. Mr. Cowart, welcome. You and I worked together in Vermont and appreciate the work you did there and around the country and the world. I'd ask you to further elaborate on the potential of efficiency as a means of reducing energy cost. I mean, if we are going to be concerned about the consumer, as we must, residential consumer and the business consumer, to elaborate on how efficiency can be their friend.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the efficiency opportunity is well demonstrated throughout the country. The reservoir is large and it's largely untapped, and it can be tapped at low cost. We know that in the power sector, we could achieve at least 1%, probably 2% a year in total demand reduction incrementally through aggressive energy efficiency programs that would be cost effective. They would save customers more money than they cost. And what happens when you do that is really four things. First of all, every customer who is participating in an efficiency program or is investing in efficiency will see a lower bill. That's the first benefit. The second benefit is that by reducing demand for electricity and natural gas, we reduce the clearing prices, and those benefits occur to everybody on the system. So the upward pressure that we're worried about here on clean energy and on energy prices generally can be significantly moderated by energy efficiency at the customer level. The third benefit is that by reducing demand for consumption, we actually reduce demand for carbon allowances. And this is part of the answer to Dr. Michael's concern about scarcity. I mean, one of the ways to affect any scarce resource is to reduce demand for it, which can be done through energy efficiency, reducing demand for carbon allowances. And then the last point, for the half of the United States that exists in a competitive wholesale power market arena, is that when you reduce clearing prices and when you reduce carbon prices, you're reducing the cost of power across almost all megawatt hours across the entire grid. So the benefits from being a lot smarter about efficiency can be quite widespread.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Greenstein, given your proposal and your concerns about LDCs, but the objective you have to protect consumers, what are your thoughts on allocating allowances, 15%, I think is a figure people have used, to LDCs specifically for efficiency to reduce cost to consumers?
I don't have any specific percentage. I agree with Mr. Cowart and others that efficiency is important. I'm not an expert on what is the best way under this bill to achieve the efficiency gains. To the degree that allocating permits to LDCs specifically for efficiency would be the best or one of the best ways to get efficiency gains, if that's the case, then I would think it's a good idea. I certainly think that there ought to be some efficiency investment under this legislation.
Okay, Mr. Sturba, what about you? Is efficiency got to be a core component of any approach to address this problem?
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the areas where state regulators come into play in helping develop, along with utilities, the elimination of disincentives and the provision of incentives such that we maximize energy efficiency capacity.
And what would you define as the specific disincentives to utilities to aggressively promote efficiency?
One that exists in many jurisdictions today is the fact that you're incented to sell more of a product. That's wrong. We need to change that fundamental business model.
Which we would do by what?
Well, it can be done by a number of mechanisms. People use the phrase decoupling as one. The problem is it means a lot of different things to different people, but there are clearly mechanisms that we can change that business model.
Okay, thank you.